delighted, happy, glad, all the words which comes in this sentence, this gharana, to be here in this beautiful country. The moment we landed, it was like this beautiful place is already in Swami's lap. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to perform here. Thankful to the trustees, central trustees, our loving brothers, Brother Shruti, Kamlesh, the whole team, Akash. Thank you so much, Brother Kamlesh. We'll be presenting, offering today's evening with Swami's bhajan, some special bhajans. We have been asked to also take out a few minutes to share some experiences. We'll try our best. I'm also thankful to the beautiful musician and the singers who have joined us. From Mauritius, let's give a big round of applause for these. And lastly, I think this is a privilege to have my brother Muthu. He has so many beautiful experiences with Swami, and request also him to share with you. So there is already a chorus behind me, a beautiful chorus, but we need support from you also. So please sing loudly with full Josh energy. We're offering this to Swami. शरणं नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय महेश्वराय दिगंबराय महेश्वराय support from your side. Thank you so much. I request Brother Muthu to share some experiences. Sure. And yes, I would also like to personally request you for that composition which you have made, which says the connection between us to Swami through the blood.
Sai Ram, brothers and sisters, respected elders. When when Swami decided that we are going to perform here, the Kamlesh made one invitation. He sent it out. So this whole experience of inviting you spiritual gathering, I'm going to describe it through tabla. Dhagit da. You are please come for this. Dhadan kita tak nagit gida. Come here. Take the weight of your feet. Sit on the ground. Dhirgita. Participate, clapping, singing, and then fill your hearts. And return back home. So this whole composition. So I'm trying to create a tabla solo around Swami's teachings. Yeah. So I'll play a few compositions, then I'll share some of my experiences. So some of the tabla compositions describe Swami's teachings. So Swami always says, that there are always two choices: materialistic path, spiritual path. And the beauty about Swami's teachings is the simplicity about it. Like the whole Upanishads, he made it help our Varnava. That is, only Vishnu can do that, on earth, and make it so easy for people to understand. So these two paths are always there. And he gives this beautiful example, in which he says, there's a coconut tree, and there's a shadow of the coconut tree. The same length, okay? There's coconut fruits on top, there's shadow coconut fruits down here. The materialistic path is easy to follow. The spiritual path requires a lot of mind control, a lot of discrimination. So, climbing the shadow tree is like walking on the materialistic path. It's very easy, you can just walk on the shadow of the tree. But at the end, you get the shadow fruits. But Swami says so beautifully, you climb the spiritual tree, which is, the actual tree. You climb and stuff. It's not easy. It's not as easy as walking on the same floor. But you reach up, you get the fruits. But this whole time, what's happening when you're going up the real tree? You're also climbing the shadow tree. And when you get the spiritual fruits, what happens? You get the abundance of the shadow fruits as well. So, this whole thing described in the composition, which was taught to me by my dear Guru, Ustad Zakir Hussain. So, everything is double in this. Daginnad, Daginakat, Dagadinata, Titakatan, Keke, Tuntun, Tita, Nara, Kata, Gadi, Ganadin, Tridirgata, Dana, this composition. What prevents us from climbing this real tree? What prevents us is the monkey mind. Swami says, Swami has this beautiful way of teaching things that you'll never forget all your life. Only Swami has that. So he used to say, mind is like a monkey, not an ordinary monkey, a mad monkey. Not just an ordinary mad monkey, an intoxicated mad monkey. Not just an intoxicated mad monkey, an intoxicated mad monkey that is bitten by a scorpion. That while in the mind is jumping. This tabla composition describes the mind. All over the place. So many stops. But how do you control this? Very, very simple. In Kali Yuga, Swami has given the simplest medicine for this. Rama, Rama, Rama. So, that last da is attaining Swami. So this composition. I just share some of my experiences. I was fortunate to stay with Swami all my life, all my studying life. I studied from my primary school till my BCom under Swami's umbrella, Puttaparthi and the first step was through Bhavikas, and when I got the first interview with the Bhavikas, my mother was the Bhavikas teacher as well. Swami asked, "What do you want to become?" I was a little kid, and that time the sands used to be there in Puttaparthi, and I had a broomstick in my hand, which was made into a sword. I had that in my hand, and I went to the interview with that. And as I'm going, I was making lines in the sand as well. Beautiful days in Puttaparthi at that time. And Swami asked in the interview, "What are you going to become?" So at that time in Bangalore, where we used to stay, when we used to go to see Swami in Vrindavan, we had to take a bus, and I used to like to watch the driver, shifting gears and doing all that important thing of moving that big steering wheel and all. So I used to be a fan of the driver. So I told Swami, bus driver Swami. And the other thing was when I used to go for the Bhavikas and the Friday bhajans, the tabla player used to always be the main focus for me. Not even Swami, only tabla. So I told Swami, and then Swami said, "Not bus driver, what else?" I said, "Tabla player, Swami." Good, that's good. So that's where I landed up. It's good that Swami gave me the clarity at that age itself. So over the period of time, many times Swami asked me, "What do you want to become?" And I've always said, "Swami, tabla player. And in my 6th standard, 8th standard, Swami hit my head on Vijay Dasmiti. said Maro Maro. When I asked him, I want to play in the mandir. Maro Maro. He said. And then I started playing in the mandir. And on 70th birthday, Anup Jalota ji had come. He was sitting on the stage, and that side, Roda Parwal was there. So two famous musicians performed. And Anup ji had taken the services of students. So I was playing for him. And in the middle, he asked me to play a little solo. I played something, and then said, Abhi naukri de dega. I'll give you a job right away. So I took that very seriously, and after BCom, I didn't want to do any more studies. So, but for lack of family understanding backing, because there's no musician in our family, so I didn't have the support to go all out and become a musician. It's a big question there. So I started doing CA coming out of Vrindavan, and I was totally fish out of water. I was not enjoying the accounts books and the numbers. I would rather be among the tabla beats. So I got this opportunity. I got a call from Puttaparthi to come to play drums for the Christmas carols. I used to play drums, and I was playing the drums, and Swami was not looking at me so much. And I really wanted Swami to look at me and talk to me because I could ask him, Swami, what to do with my life. I want to become a tabla player. He's guiding me. So what happened was, one of the ending carols, I had to play a big role. And when I was playing this role, the seat was not tightened enough. The seat, as I was about to hit the crash, the seat went down. And I almost fell off the seat. And I threw the stick in the air when I lost balance. And Swami saw all this and he was laughing. And then he came up to me and he said, there are better ways to catch my attention. But I got to tell Swami, I want to become a tabla player. What to do? So Swami said, go to Bombay, learn from maestros and all that. So the guidance was there from Swami, and I took that very seriously. I just picked up my bags, picked up my tabla, went to Bombay. And when Swami's hand is there and Swami's word is there, he made sure that the path led to the greatest of tabla teachers. I learned from Ustad Allah Raka, who was Ustad Zakir Hussain's dad, one of the greatest legends of tabla, for 4 years under him, and then for many years under Ustad Zakir Hussain. And I'll tell you one beautiful experience from my stays in Bombay. There's a very funny joke about musicians, and all the more about music students. So the joke is that two people are walking. One person doesn't have money. Sorry, I killed the joke. One person is a musician, and the other person doesn't have money either. That used to be the situation when I was in Bombay as a student, just practicing 10 hours a day, going to my guru, learning, coming back. So there was this 3-day concert in Xavier's College in South Bombay, and all the maestros were performing. And I really wanted to go and attend this, and I didn't have the ticket for this. So I went there and was just standing outside the gate, watching everyone moving in. I was like telling Swami, you're my mother, you're my father. Why are you giving me this? What are you teaching me here? Why are you making me, feel bad here? This was going through my head. And there was this elderly gentleman. He suddenly looked at me and he said, do you want some passes? He asked. So I felt a stinging in my eyes because the thought just passed my mind. And this gentleman is coming and asking me, do you want some tickets? So I said, yes sir, please give me some tickets. So he gave me 2 tickets, which were season passes for 3 days. So as soon as I got this, I shed tears because I thanked Swami profusely. I didn't see the tickets. And I went with the tickets and I showed it. There were the entrance where to show the ticket. I showed the ticket, and the that lady took me all the way to the front sofa set, which was the first and second rows. And she made me sit there, and how Swami's timing is so accurate. As I was sitting, Sudhara Raghunath was singing Uyala Loluma Sri Satya Sai. So I sat there and I look at the ticket. It's, I was looking for a 40 rupees Baitak pass. 40 rupees Baitak pass. This was 2,500 rupees ticket for 2 days. For 3 days for 2 people. It was overkill. Swami was just, telling me like, I'm taking care of it, don't worry about this. So we are also fortunate to be under Swami's umbrella. I always feel that, if we really surrender to Him, and we'll certainly feel it, that He's protecting, He's keeping an umbrella over each one of us. We don't have to worry about a single thing in our life. He's taking care of everything, every small thing He takes care of. So I pray to Swami to guide each one of us and shower His choicest blessings on us. Thank you so much.
One of the favorite singer who have always been performing in Swami's Lotus Feet, Bharat Ratna Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, presenting our bhajan. शिखर से धारा धाए हरि संग बांसुरिया Sura in many of the Swami's interview, my parents always wanted me to say this to Swami, that Swami, my Vivek should come to your institution. We want Vivek to study in your primary school. Probably the same feeling now I have. My son is a fourth generation follower of Swami's, being a Swami's devotee. So every time Swami used to say, this will happen, this will happen. In one of the interview finally Swami said, okay, next year. So this was the assurance, seal envelope assurance from Swami that okay, now Vivek is going to be part of Swami's primary school. Interview finished, he came out, we took Bad Namaskar, and he was so confident, he was so happy. My father probably could have booked the ticket of next year, the joining date on that particular day. But those days it was a long train journey where I belong from, which is a middle state, Madhya Pradesh, and then all the way to Dharmabara. Anyway, next year came, we went, we reached Puttaparthi, with all our packing actually, my parents were so confident, all clothes, sort of everything. In third standard, I reached the office of Muni Aunty, the principal in primary school. She said, no vacancy, sir. No vacancy this year. So my father very humbly said, Aunty, Swami has, told, what? 150 people comes to me every single day saying that Swami has come to my dream, Swami has come to your dream, Swami has, some flower has come to on my lap. How will I believe? Father took a back. Obviously there was no, attempting anything, but then we kept saying, Swami has given interviews, but auntie being so loving auntie, and probably there was actually no vacancy. We humbly came out from the primary school. We tried next year. We kept trying for 4 years continuously. Every year, you have to, one can understand that in those summer vacations during the Ishwarama time, it's very, very peak summer of Puttaparthi, and admissions happen, and then we all travel all the way, 38 hours of traveling journey. With the whole packing, because every year my size would be changed in the new t-shirt period, new clothes, with the whole packet, bags. Anyway, fourth year came out, and then from my parents said, okay, this is understood that maybe this was Swami's will, Swami wanted something else for the way. All of a sudden, we were sitting and just discussing this near the Ganesh gate, and this person came as a part of Sevadal member. He says, your boy, is he a science student? He looks with this, because I was also keeping the same haircut, just to give a better impression. Science student. So, is this a boy out of the primary school? Because all the students are going now back. He's not supposed to stand here. Please ask him to go to the primary school line and go with the line to the primary school. All of us thought, I wish we could do this. I just pop in inside and then go straight to primary school. But obviously we said that no, he's not a part of primary school. But this gave a thought in my mother's prayer that we should keep trying. If Swami has said it's a Brahmavani, it will happen. So again we tried for next year. I gave an exam, there was a vacancy, I gave an exam, but I had very good mathematics. I did not pass. My calculations, no one could understand the answer. So I did not obviously come selected. And this went on, and then in 9th standard, starting from 2nd and 3rd onwards, we came to 9th standard. We stopped going to primary school because now it was time for us to go to high school. So we went to high school. We kept saying, Swami had told in 1998, so and so interview. And again, the principal used to just say, side out, sir. There's no seat available. And then this was the final message in my 10th standard that, okay, Swami must have said, and probably something else. We will come to know this later. After 10th standard, since I belong from the judiciary family, there is no musician in my family, in my parents' family. So I was very acute to go in in my judiciary. So I decided after 10th standard, and all of a sudden one day the Sanatan Sadhi came and there was an advertisement of music college. She said this I mean College of Music. My father read everything usual. In that night, Swami came into dream. Hey, your voice sings so well. Music college, you should try. And this was a faded dream. Sometimes when you get a dream, you're not very confident when you got up in the morning, what Swami told you, what was the exact message. Sometimes you wish, many of the devotees I've seen, they keep a paper pen next to their bed so that if something comes, but that was not the day for my father on particular day. So he just got a kind of faded dream. He shared this with my mother. Mother got a hint. No, again Swami is giving you some message. So now I took her back. I said every year for 8 years, getting new dresses, packing, come on. Anyway, so my mother was very much into it. And we went for this music college and I got selected. So 2000, when this interview, year 2000, when this interview had come, I got selected in 2008, exactly after 8 years. So I got selected in the music college. We read our name in the list, which was in the front gate. Just when we were coming down to the steps of that college, my father got, some kind of immediate calling from Swami. Sometimes we feel this is Swami right here speaking to you, just beside you speaking to you. And Swami said, see, I told your son will be here next year. He just stood there, my father stood there. And then Swami started saying, see, next year, NEXTYEAR. 8 alphabet, after 8 years, the rate is we wish if there was only one letter. So Swami, it's a Brahmavani. Whenever, however Swami says, if said, it will happen. It will definitely happen. There are so many instances in our life, so many situations comes in our life where we feel, I have served in the Embassy of India as a cultural coordinator abroad. There have been so many challenges which comes. And always this one thought that Shraddha Saburi, patience, faith, devotion is always needed. So that was something which was always with me. I always try today, even if I find anything difficulty in my life, in my music. And quickly before we go to the last section of our presentation, my mother, I want to share about this, how my mother had kept praying to Swami and kept faith. Probably she was the only one, and everyone had lost the faith, where they could never go into the institution of Swami. Okay, but she was always there. We should keep trying. We should keep trying. And Swami actually tested her. And I want to share how she was given a second life. So in 19th June 1999, in one of the family interviews, I'll try to make it very short. It's a very long, 47 minutes of interview. Swami was keep speaking to us, keep sharing things. We were actually not speaking anything. It was always Swami who was talking to us, finding out what problems we had. So I'll just try to make it very short and stick to my mother's incident. In the same year, my younger brother was born, and during the delivery, a wrong needle was given in the wrong side of the nerve, which is called epidural. I'm sure we got the medical. So the needle went into the wrong nerve, and she faced the paralysis. The whole left side, after the delivery went well. Younger brother, everything was fine. But after a few days, she started feeling the left side was still numb, going down. And after 10 days, she started falling. So there was probably no sense on the left side. And the face also started going to the left side. And this was very painful. My brother was, in fact, a few days old, and then my mother is not able to hold him. Father used to take off leave from the, so very, very critical situation. And this went on for a month, for 1.5 months. Then we started trying to go around in big cities, Mumbai, Delhi, and then, people, the doctors tried their best. They said, probably we don't have a particular therapy medicine for this, and you have to suffer this. And in one of the hospital also, doctor said that you can expect 1.5 years. So we started now, understanding that there is now really no more after 1.5 years. And already so she was already praying so much, having a baby. I mean, you can just get an understanding how the situation was. After fourth or fifth one, she started giving up. It was so difficult for her to eat also, all the things which is required. On the fifth month, she said, okay, now anyway, she spoke to my father. She said, anyway, I'm leaving, you all of you, please take care of both the sons. And can please go to Puttaparthi. I want to be there the last time. This was very, very difficult time for all of us in the family. And now over that, taking a patient in a wheelchair and again 38 hours of long journey. So my father said, okay, whatever it takes, whatever you want, please let me help you. And we went to Puttaparthi. And this interview which happened was probably, we waited for 7 days. On the seventh day, Swami called us in the interview. All 7 days, my father was, all 6 days before, my father was trying to pray to Swami, sitting in Putin, Swami, please call me for the interview. You have cured so many people. When you say, cancel. This is an easy thing for you. Come on, please do it, Swami. And my father has been more close to Swami, every time patting cheeks and all. Swami used to do jokes with him and all. So he always used to sit in the portico. So all these 6 days went, and the seventh day was our return train, and then finally Swami got again a pariksha exam. So my mother took almost 3 to 4 minutes from the ladies' side to reach the Swami's interview room. My father was always there. I was playing hand fan in the last part of the Kulvat. I was never worried about anything. There's a water cooler actually next to that gents side. So I was playing my hand fan. All of a sudden, I saw my father waving near that lion. Then I realized, okay, I know this person is calling me, I should run. And I started running, it was an interview. So Swami stood there for all of us for 3-4 minutes, where, where we know that Swami's things happens like in fraction of a second. If Swami tells something, it happens like this. Swami was standing there for all of us. So with the help of Sevadal members, my mother went inside the interview room. Swami locked the door. Swami used to walk. So Swami used to lock the door when everyone used to go inside the interview room. Swami used to switch on the fan for all of us. There are beautiful things which happens once you're inside the interview room. And then Swami looked at my mother. So as I said, it was a long interview, 47. So many things happened. In the last few minutes, Swami saw my mother, who was slightly left side, limping, bending down, sitting. Kya hua, ma? In Hindi, Swami asked, what happened to you? So, first he asked my father, what happened to you? So my father said, no, Swami, everything is fine. She's suffering so many problems. Please, Swami, cure her. Oh, Amma, what happened to you? Swami, I am very good. Swami, my husband is having problems. He didn't understand. Because she was continuously thinking that, last 6-7 months has been so difficult, tension, and over that it's a judicial life, you have to be there on time in court and high court. So, over that, he is holding both of us. No, Swami, I am very good. He is having an issue, he is having problem. Swami said, ye isko bolta hai, ye isko bolta hai. She speaks about him, he speaks about her. What should I do? Okay, don't worry, I'll cure both of you. So Swami utilized a ring, gave it to my father. Ring was also a little bigger. I'm just trying to squeeze everything now. We are lesser time. So the ring was bigger. Swami just did like this. The ring became one side, and then it went into whichever finger Swami wanted. And in between, my father thought that Swami is going to probably take that ring back. So he kept both the hands on Swami's lap. Swami, whichever you want to put in thumb also, you put it. I don't know. Just do it. Please give the ring. And then Swami looked at my mother, gave us very and a very furious look towards my mother, and then created. I'm not sure if many of the devotees have seen this, but Swami has also given vibhuti, materialized vibhuti, into pink color. Devotees from USA has been sharing this to me. I'm sure many of you must have seen this. Swami usually gives the grayish color vibhuti, right? The usual. I mean, not should not use the word usual, but the color of the vibhuti. So this time it was pink vibhuti, and Swami didn't give it to my mother. He just started throwing over my mother. And she started feeling burning sensations and everything. So the lady who was given a help as a civil member limping took 3 minutes to go inside the interview room, started jogging out when the interview finished. Started jogging out when the interview finished. And the whole cycle started clapping. This was a miracle. This was how Swami, has given a second life to man. And even today, she jogs, she walks, she cooks. She's always taking Malvika's classes. We all were so much in tears. We were so happy. The whole train when we were going back to our, because the same day we had the train, we were just crying. We were so happy that how Swami. So again, I think it was a faith, it was a devotion which Swami tests a lot. Whichever field you may be, whichever profession you may be, but I guess we all should always be. There are elders here. I beg pardon if I'm saying little, chota ho badi baat. But then, I think we all should always have faith, devotion, utmost dedication in Swami's lotus feet. That if Swami has told us, it will definitely happen, and Swami is always there to cure you. Thank you. So we end with one bhajan, end with the medley. Please, with full energy, come sing with us in the medley. here once again thankful on behalf of to also very much thankful to the trustees, to all the sign committees, distinguished guests here for having us here. We look forward to come again. And we also have come to know that many of our Sai family are traveling to Puttaparthi. We're very happy, safe travel, and a divine stay at our Puttaparthi. Happy journey, Sai Ram.
Loving Sai Ram, brothers and sisters, I'm sure you all enjoyed this blissful performance. As a token of love and gratitude, please join me in giving them a big round of applause, please. I now have the pleasure to invite V.S. Ramdeni from the trustee and Sanjay Lakshman, the president of Bhutan, the Sai Center, to present a token of our guest artist. Sataram, please join me in welcoming Brother Subir Ramnawal for a word of thanks.
I first humble, loving, and prayerful pranams on Swami's lotus feet. Saram, dear musician, artists, brothers and sisters, Saram. And I've heard this expression before that time flies. And when life is hard, time feels so long. And it's just flew by like 1.5 hours of singing felt like 15 minutes. That's when you feel that, that's when you know actually that you're like transported to some different kind of state or world or whatever. And thank you, brothers, for coming down to take us on a very peaceful journey. Thank you so much. And I would have to start by saying a big thank you, heartfelt thank you, gratitude to Swami. And we all know here that it's his will, his wish, his guidance, and his support that made this beautiful program possible. So I'm grateful and thanks to you, Swami, for organizing this. Thank you to our brothers who Baig and Brother Mutu for coming down all the way. I know you've been on the road, on the flights for the last 21 days. You've been working really hard. You know, we look at this performance and we think that, you know, they're gifted, they play really well. Of course, they're blessed, gifted by Swami, but I can tell you that these brothers, they've told me their stories. They've practiced, they've gone to school during the day, music school. I know Brother Mutu, for example, he didn't sleep, he practiced for 10 hours and then went back to school. He did that for years and years. And Brother Vivek is the same. They live and are still alive in Gurukul. And, you know, so thank you for sharing that in 1.5 hours with us. Thank you for sharing. You're gifted, you are talented, but you're also blessed by Swami, most importantly, and to share all the love and all the care, all the way from quality to Mauritius. Thank you again, dear brothers. And you know, whenever I say thanks to anyone, when we organize this program, they say, no, you don't need to thank us, but it's our duty. I know you are all working selflessly, but I have to say a big thank you to the Central Council and the members and the President for supporting us in this event. The President and members of the Trust who are sitting here as well for supporting us by giving us accommodation, permission, and all the support, and the loving support as well, which is most important. All the President and members from different regions who shared this invitation with everyone. And a special thank goes to the President and members of the Sri Sathya Sai Center of QB Bhutan for providing us this wonderful activity. Thank you so much. Thank you again. And while all of us were enjoying, there was one man in the house who was going through a lot of tension. And his brother Kevin Kushniyaka. For providing us this sound, and this technically is a very difficult place to have a good sound, balanced sound, but he made it possible. Thank you so much, Kevin. And it requires a lot of resources. So everybody who knows they've supported in a way or the other to make this possible. So a very big thank you to you. And also, thank you to all the Save Others. You would identify yourself. Some of you prepared food, tea, breakfast, parking, support, you know, all the Save Others who work hard to make this possible. Thank you very much. And I would say thank you to our local artists, our brothers and sisters for supporting us as well. It's not an easy job to be organized, and I'm just looking at the list so don't miss it. So thank you to the police who were there for the parking. Thank you to Autumn Living for providing us additional parking. Thank you to all the members of the managing committee of the Shanti Sai group for organizing this event. A special thank you to you all. And most importantly, thank you to all of you. The concert is not a concert, not a gathering without all of you. So most importantly, a big round of applause. Swami's 100th birthday. It's a special day, special occasion, special day. Thanks again, everyone. And we'll now proceed for Aarti. And I will invite all the two dear brothers to go for Aarti. And I would request Kamlesh to just okay, Brother Chip to play the harmonium on the Aarti.